where Becky's at.
Move the chairs down.
And you will
Gonna
that
have to
seat
get some
right
more chairs, right?
here.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, 7 o'clock, we're gonna get the meeting going. Stand up and take pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So fitting as we just celebrated our 250th birthday. Good stuff. And I better turn my ringer off my phone, otherwise it'll be blowing up on us. And that one.
And that one.
Well, there we go. All right. Public comments on agenda items. So if you've all looked over the agenda or haven't, this is the part of the meeting where you can make comments on things that are on the agenda. Oh, okay. All right, at this point then, we will accept a motion on the minutes from the regular meeting from June.
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the meetings from the regular meeting in June. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Journal voucher report.
We don't have one.
Oh, we don't have one. Where is it?
I don't know. She didn't have time to do it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or we
We'll
didn't
skip.
have any.
Treasurer's report. I would take a motion on accepting the treasurer's report, please.
I move that we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the treasurer's report as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Same on claims and payroll, please.
I move that we accept the claims and payroll reports as presented.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, we accept claims and payroll as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, as we move into the judges' report, we've got two of them. We got May and June. So in May, total number of new cases for the month was 68. Total pending cases 22. Total number of disposed cases 35. Total number of active warrants 114. Funds paid to the town of Plains for May was $3,320. Move on to June. Total number of new cases for the month 61. Total number of pending cases 42. Total number of disposed cases 39. Total number of active warrants 117. Funds paid to the town of Plains for June was $3,960. Okay, then that brings us to the mayor's report. All right, number one, the pool is open. Yay! And actually, it's been open for almost a week and a half at this point. Today was the first day that it was open early all the way to late evening. Otherwise, it's just been open swimming for the most part in the afternoon and some open in the evening. But today's the first day they started early, laps in, swim, and whatever else they're doing first thing in the morning. And they started lessons today also. That's all exciting stuff. We had plenty of hiccups trying to get that pool up and running. And we still have a few tweaks that we have to work on. The north well is still suffering with contractor deficiencies, but getting closer. Now, the north well is the one that sits out there at the corner of Kruger and Clayton, and we've been trying to get that up and running for a while. The contractor was supposed to have things done by May 1st, then dropped dead at June 1st, and then completely dropped dead at July 1st, and it's still not ready. So we have contractors getting daily fines because they don't have anything wrapped up. So it's been problems. Anyway, but it's getting closer. And that brings in down below where I have other well issues. It's gonna be so nice when we get that up. The other two wells that we have, it just so happened when we had a power glitch here about 3 weeks ago, and it actually gave a big hiccup to our lift station down here where things weren't processing there. We've happened to catch it. But for some reason, we didn't catch that our Balch well, which we haven't been running for quite a while, everything electrical, everything said everything was functioning, everything was fine, until the city well decided that it wasn't going to chlorinate the water, and we shut it down and had to put a new injector on. So we went to switch over to the Balch well, and it said it was running, but it wasn't. So we had water coming out of the tank, but no water going back up in there. So that was a real scramble there, because then we finally got the injector into the city well, and then you're left with that well running, period. And if it got really hot, that well doesn't really keep up with demand if people are doing a lot of watering. And so it's kind of a panic situation. As it turns out, the Balch well, whatever that hiccup was, it sounds like it was potentially the problem. It blew out what's called some kind of a phase. Variable frequency thing, and it's like a $6,300 or $6,400 part, and it was over $8,000 together getting it put in there. So it wasn't a cheap fix, but thankfully we have Phil Cook still available we gave him a call. He said, I'll be right there. I keep my tools in my vehicle, and he was able to come there and look over everything, and he says, I think this is the problem. So we were able then to get a hold of the companies we deal with. They were able to order one just in case and bring that with them, and then they could diagnose it and found out, sure enough, Phil was right. It was that very problem, and they had it, they put it in, and everything was fixed up. So that was kind of a sigh of relief, because you don't want to be down to one well in our situation, especially going into summer. Sewer extension is officially at a standstill right now, because we are looking at trying to extend the sewer out to Kruger Road down Clayton. Unfortunately, what we found out so far is that you don't get all the way down there, and you start getting daylight, and so you have no way to get flow back through the sewer system. So we're going to have to, some point down the road, come up with a different plan, maybe from up by the highway, or we're going to have to figure out down the road trying to come up with grants or something to get another lift station in order to extend that sewer there to get it to Kruger, which is going to be important for the town as we go forward. Water pumped, 4,963,000 gallons. Water sold, 3,415,458, so it's a 31% loss. And that includes filling the pool, which is a lot of water. So anyway, that's not bad at all compared to where we've been in the past. And then I'm going to piggy-tail this in at this point, since we have quite a crew here, is that we have Mr. Scott Johnson here with a crew of painters, and we'd like to hear some input from the hydrant painters and Mr. Johnson and how things have went. And
well, it was 4 months ago. I don't know if this is where you want me to address it. It was 4 months ago I came to you with the proposal that we paint the fire hydrants in town. That I believe I had the grant at that time. Can't remember what came first. Anyway, so the grant was achieved through the Montana 250 Commission and fully funded the supplies and the paint and everything. Got your permission, Tony Young gave you permission, or us permission, and that was the easy part. And then I got everything to go except people that would do it. And it just took about 2 or 3 phone calls, and it just started snowballing. Small community, people know each other. So at this moment in time, we have 31 hydrants that are going to be painted. 28 are now complete. And they are, if you haven't taken the tour yet, I highly recommend and when you stop, get out and look at them up close like you would a painting at a museum, because there's just small little details in each and every one of them, and none of them are the same. They all offer just a little special touch that the artist added to them. Our youngest artist, I believe, is 12. Our oldest artist, I think, is 41 or 42. Right, Steve? Right? Yeah. So,
20th anniversary is 40th
it's about. Hey, she said it, don't look at me, Steve. I tried to keep it as
I was feeling so good.
I tried to keep it as young as possible. Believable, let's put it that way. But anyway, the KPAX News came out and did a story. The Ledger did a fantastic story. I went to a medical appointment the other day over here at the hospital, and after the nurse checked me in, and I think she heard my voice, but she kept looking at me funny, and I thought, well, I am funny looking, but she kind of looked at me funny, and she goes, hey, are you the fire hydrant guy? So so many places in town, and I know a lot of you guys. I think the best outcome that came from that, other than the boom of patriotism that it has brought to the town, and just got the people talking, is each one of these artists that are out here today. Because I know it happened to me. If you planned on painting for 2 hours, you might as well have been there for 5 or 6, because I think every one of you can attest. And if you did, let me know. Somebody would stop and talk to you and thank you, or ask what you were doing, how that came to be. And I think that's one of the best events that happened that I hadn't planned on happening. In fact, I'll keep her anonymous. But one of our artists shared with me the other day, as she was painting, she collected $40 in tips. So I informed her that 10% goes to the organizer, and I think 50% goes to tax back to the town. If I'm not mistaken. But that was just that was amazing to see that happening, and a group of people that organizing something like this and dealing with so many different people, and you've heard that artists can be eccentric. Well, I personally have got some of these people I knew a little bit, now I know them a lot better, and I enjoyed every single bit of working with them and organizing the project and bringing them their supplies and going back and forth. So what I wanted to do tonight is, if you come up and tell everybody your name, because I already know who you are, but what I've done is I've got a bunch of challenge coins, and if you've never been given a challenge coin, this is how they work. So you carry this around with you as long as you feel necessary, and if you run into one of the other artists, or you run into me, you pull out your coin and say, hey, I challenge you, I challenge you. And if you have your coin, then you pull it out and say, oh, I got it. And if you don't have it, then you owe me a soda or an ice cream or something. So it's just something that I have a couple of challenge coins from other organizations. So, but it's just, I'd love to give you something bigger and grander, because you guys are all amazing. But I hope that you'll carry this around, and it'll remind you of what you did for us in our town. And maybe some of you younger people, as I've said before, I hope in 50 years, because this is how it started for me when I was 9 years old, in another 50 years at the 300th, which blows my mind, maybe wherever you are, you will continue the tradition and maybe lead the project there. So if you guys would just come up one at a time. Do you want them to say their name, or do you?
It's up to them.
Yeah, if you want to say your name, fine. If not, just come and get your coin, have a seat. But anyway, let's have the first row come up. Steve started off. By the way, if you haven't been to the Paradise, if you haven't been to the Legion in Paradise yet, please go see it in person. This man is, he is amazing. what he has done. And you did how many hydrants? I know Lisa made you do 3.
I think there's 6. I got one more to do at the
You
hospital.
did,
But I was a little bit tied up. So.
yeah. But anyway, Steve has just done some amazing things. Thank you so much, Steve.
In relation to what you're saying, 50 years, my apprentice over at the Legion that had just finished painting, I told her, you do realize you're going to be famous for the next 20 years for what we're doing here. And I'm basically teaching you to replace me because in 20 years, I'm not going to be around. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Come on up. Everybody just get up and come up. If you painted a hydrant, come on up. Thank you, Eileen, very much. Appreciate it. Come on up. Of course, by the way, as they're coming up, we are at 24 artists.
Wow.
And that includes a family that did one over by the school.
Thank you for organizing this.
My pleasure. My pleasure. These people made it possible.
I think everybody knows me. Lisa Janaya, Doubtfire.
Lakota, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yep. Thank you, Jim. Yep. Come on, David.
I have a discussion going on with a school back east. They want me to come paint with them
Well,
at the beginning of next year, so.
yeah. Thank you very much, David. And by the way, some of our artists are professionals, which is great that they gave their time and effort and talent. And some of them are like me, just Joe Schmo that just wanted to paint the town. And so hopefully, like I said, if you haven't done the tour, take it, drive, park, walk around them. A few have been, I think a few more were added last week, right? You were added last week, and the Rabine family did one across from the old gym at the high school. If you haven't seen that one, man, it's absolutely stunning. And Eileen, just real fast, because I know I don't want to make the meeting go longer than it already would be. Tell them about the inspiration for both of your hydrants for me, because everybody's got inspiration for the hydrants they did, but she's a young lady that's still in school, and I was a school teacher, so that I had that special connection with her. But a lot of people, I don't know how many of you know the story of George Washington's chair, the rising sun. Yeah, so I would tell them a little bit about your inspiration for both your hydrants, if you don't mind.
My first hydrant was, I think it was number 16, and it's called We the People, and I did it from the Constitution. It's the first line, and I put George Washington's signature underneath because he was the president of the Constitutional Convention of the time. I have a candle and an inkwell with the American flag in the background, and then of course I signed it back and forth. On my second hydrant, I have the sun on the top. And the sun is from the back of George Washington's chair. And Benjamin Franklin had asked, was it a rising sun or a setting sun? And by the end of the Constitutional Convention, he believed it was a rising sun.
Which represented the beginning of a new country, right? Yeah. So anyway, very good.
Real quick, I want to tell everybody, thanks for the opportunity to do that. We live in this great community, and I'm telling you what, painting that Legion was so much fun. I had one of the guys stop and tell me that there wasn't a dog in town that wouldn't use my fire. Girl, that was a good story. And there's a movie in the theaters now. If you haven't seen it, you need to. It's called Young Washington. It is one of the best movies that I have ever seen. That's about George Washington. It is impressive. It'll make your heart beat. So anyway, thank you guys. Scott.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Anyway, I appreciate all of you allowing us to do this because we couldn't without you. And hopefully, as long as the paint will last, it'll be a nice addition to our town. It is, as tourists come by, people can hear about it, talk about it. But anyway, I thank you for from my 9-year-old Scott from doing it 50 years ago to 41-year-old Scott now. Don't do that. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Scott, for organizing that. And thank you for all the artists. I mean, it's amazing caveat for Little Plains, Montana, 250 years, you know, for the country, and to have all those hydrants, and it just gave a lot of kudos to the people that did it, and it really kind of made a bright spot for the town.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And just talking to, like I said, talking to the citizens coming by. I had veterans come by and tell me stories, and they were just so appreciative, and so, you know, nobody does this stuff anymore,
Yeah.
and that's what they really liked to see. So, only complaint was that we didn't do them all.
It's not over, right? You still have paint left.
I still have paint if anybody wants to paint. Anyway, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Dave?
Yeah, may I have a moment? Okay, so you already know what I'm doing next. I can't even talk to you. So I'm gonna be working on 2 world record sculptures this winter. I'd like the community's participation in it. Tomorrow I'll be going over and meeting the new superintendent. I'll be working with Kyle Mitchell over at the high school. They're gonna be, one's gonna be a 36-foot long static sculpture of a stick horse. And the other world record will be a rideable hobby horse. And it'll be about 12 feet long, and we'll have the high school students working on both of these projects. And the reason I want to do the hobby horse thing is because we're Wild Horse Plains, and I think it'd be a good location to have a 30-foot, sculpture of. If you don't know what a stick horse is, think of a wooden head on a broomstick. All right, only we're going to make it very big. All right, and then that'll be left for the town. The high school is going to help build it, and hopefully we can get some of the members in the community to donate to it so we can make it happen. We will be getting a hold of Guinness World Records for both of these. So our target date is Plains Day next year. All right, so we're up for a little while there. Both of them are very doable. Both of them are very simplistic designs that are, accomplishable, with high school students. So we're going to be building 2 of the riding ones, and the reason we're going to be building 2 riding ones is because I've got friends in the federal government, and hopefully I can bend their arms to send these kids to Finland. And if you Google Finland and hobby horses, you'll find out it is the world's largest gathering of hobby horse enthusiasts. There's over 1 million people a year, and I figured leave one of the horses here for the high school as a world record, and give the other one to Finland, send the kids over there as ambassadors. So this is a joint Operation Mariposa kind of program. Veterans in the classroom. I'll be talking to Tom Collins because he is a sculptor as well. So I just kind of want to put this all on your guys' radar. This is something I will be doing.
Thanks, Dave.
I'm out of here. I'll put it in your ear.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Thanks, guys. That was great.
And the crowd clears.
Yeah.
Everybody's leaving now.
Everybody's leaving us.
I was wondering, I was afraid some controversial situation would go down.
All right, so we got done with the mayor's report. Now, fire department. I don't see anybody here from the fire department. Okay, but I do see somebody here from the police department. Nice try, Nader.
I'm with the Plains Police Department. Super empty in here now. So stats for the month of June 26, we had 75 calls for service, 11 of which were other agency assists. So usually assisting the sheriff's office if they don't have a deputy on this end. We had 2 arrests, 118 criminal and traffic citations and written warnings, 18 business contacts, 69 business checks, and then we had 6 hours of officer volunteer for our reserve program. I believe that was for Plains Day, and then we used 8 of the paid grant hours. So, yeah, it's been picking up. with it getting hotter outside, our summertime hours, a lot more calls for service, a lot of traffic that goes through here. That's probably dispatch banging my line right now, so, give me 1 second, and dispatch, and I can answer questions in a second.
Thanks, Nate. Well, we'll move on and get Nikki up talking while Nader's gone.
Alrighty. Alright, I don't have much. Library's going great. We've got about 88 kids signed up for the summer reading program. We were doing a whole STEAM theme, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And we've got, because the library is really little, so we weren't able to do like big programs for the kids this year. So what we did is just kind of have programming, what we call passive programming, where it's in the library and kids can stop by and interact with it whenever they want, and it changes out every week or two. So we've had about 48 kids, it's between 48 and 50 kids, stop by and spend time with that. We've had things like aluminum foil engineering, and we've got a programmable robot, and we've got different art and different things. So we've been keeping the kids busy for you guys. We are renting out the pool for all the summer reading program kids and their families. Give me an invoice.
I need to get you a bill.
Yes, please. This week actually, on Thursday. So it, support the pool, thank you for the pool. From the bottom of my heart and my kids' hearts, thank you for the pool. And then we're having a science and art fair at the 4-H Pavilion on the 18th. We're actually looking for volunteers. Anybody's got anything nerdy they want to share with the community? It could be old nerdy, it could be new nerdy, anything science, anything technology. Somebody's bringing a spinning wheel, somebody's bringing some leather for the kids to work with. We're gonna have lots of cool stuff for families, and hopefully even just community members to stop by and interact with and be exposed to something that you may not normally see or be a part of. More practical, we are gonna we're gonna have the hedge next to the library removed. It's dying. It's been dying. It needs to be chopped. So we found somebody to remove that, and he's also going to clean up the lilacs in the parking lot, so they're not quite. We can have a haunted forest back there. But other than that, not much going on. We're busy. We're doing new cards almost every day, and the place has always got people in it, but nothing quantifiable that I can put into a statistic.
Well, not that it has anything to do with the library itself, but it does the building. A couple weeks ago, Nikki had a problem where the rope broke on the flagpole, so the flag couldn't go up. And so we had Sam go over there with a lift and get that back up. Meanwhile, the gutters need to clean the gutters, but he also got in there and gave them opportunity to inspect the roof there and found that there's a lot of loose screws and some trouble spots, and you get to the back side of the library along that fascia on the other side. It's going to need TLC here in the near future. So it's amazing when you start looking at some of the buildings and infrastructure that the town has that kind of falls through the cracks sometimes until we have opportunity to look at something else, and then it gets revealed. Nader?
Oh, that was basically it. Nothing else. I was just. Any questions about the?
Anybody have any questions of Nate? All right, and we don't have anybody here from the Public Works Department. Resolution to update the fee schedule. Unfinished business, we're still working on that, are we not?
Planning board. You guys on the planning board, I need your numbers so we can get past this resolution.
That would be, Joanne's the only one here on the planning board? And she knows nothing about it. Yeah, because you're new. Anyway, yeah, we gotta get that injected in. I don't know when the next planning board meeting is.
I don't know.
I have to look.
Yeah, John will have that.
I don't think it's on this Wednesday, but maybe the following Wednesday. So we need to get
I
that.
know this Wednesday's Public Works.
I'll move that we table the resolution to update the fee schedule until that information is available.
10 seconds.
Moved and second that we table the resolution to update the fee schedule. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So did I hear you say that there's a public works meeting coming up this Wednesday?
Or parks, sorry.
Oh, parks, I was gonna say.
Not
Okay,
public
'cause
works.
usually,
Public Works doesn't meet.
right, and they're not usually on a Wednesday anyway. Okay.
No.
New business, resolution 26-9, COLA and raises. Has everybody had opportunity to look that over in your packets? Anyway, you look that over, I would take a motion to accept that, please.
I move that the council accepts resolution number 26-9 as presented.
And I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept resolution 26-9. We'll have a polling on that, please.
Okay. Bonnie,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Chad,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Lyle.
Yes.
All right, that passes. Okay, committee reports. Administration Committee Budget Meeting, so Catherine
It's in
will
there
pick up.
somewhere.
Oh, you have it, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. You
Yeah.
have it,
Oh. You want me to read it for you?
if you want to
Oh.
read it.
All right, minutes from the finance meeting. Present the council members, Lyle Fisher, Joanne Shepherd, and Bonnie Manrique. Also in attendance, city treasurer Kathy Emmett. I was missing because I had a great grandson that was having surgery. It's about the budget. Sergeant Rob Geened would like to roll over unspent payroll to be able to retain the temporary hire while Officer Ziegler finishes the police academy. That would be Officer Schwal, that looking to carry over a little bit from September to October. There's $42,000 left in the payroll. Rob is also looking into a grant to fund a fourth officer. We have double the cases than Thompson Falls. There is an increase in population, so there's more of a workload. And we will get the reserve overtime grant again for $8,000. So anytime you see where they're out there working the grant, that's something they put in for $8,000. And that means that sometimes when you see extra patrol cars out there, somebody watching, people coming into town, they're not working necessarily their regular hours. They're out working the grant, which you can only work traffic. You can't work any other cases, you can't be patrolling, you're watching traffic, and that is basically, for the most part, that's traffic coming through town. So that's what that grant is for. The mayor looked into the league wages and for various towns for size and is recommending raises and a deep dive into our pay schedule across the board. COLA 3.2%. The next meeting will be on July 16th, 2026 at 10 a.m. All righty. Public Works Committee.
I had a meeting on the 19th of June, and we came to a decision to go ahead with the cab strip meters with H.D. Fowler, and so the Public Works personnel are ordering and utilizing those, putting those in. So now we'll be running both types of meters, the older and the newer, replacing the new ones, or the old ones with the new ones, and the new type. So we'll be running two types of software to read the meters, but we've come to the conclusion that that's probably our best and most cost-effective way at it, rather than trying to change every meter in town. We'd have to hire contractors for that. We just don't have the funding for that, so we're gonna do it a little whack-a-mole style as long as we can. The other thing that's we're dealing with, talking about buildings and infrastructure, is the continuing project at the fire hall. The whole building really needs painted. It's in rough shape, but it came up, maybe we should just site it. And that's something that anybody on the council or anybody from the community, if you want to weigh in on that. We're trying to get bids right now from the current contractor of AA Construction. And just to give us an idea of what it would cost to paint it, what it would cost to site it with like metal siding. The idea would be to site it very similar to, with the same type of siding that we have the pole barn on the west side of the property done in. The bid for that was around $36,000. To put that siding all the way around it, it would be cheaper to paint it. The paint wouldn't last as long. Again, it's kind of like the meters. You might have an appetite for something really nice, but what we can afford as a town is the big question that we're trying to figure out. It'd be really good, especially for you guys on the Public Works Committee, to maybe try and grab Aaron, and if you're not, I think you're both pretty familiar with what's going on down there, but make sure that we're kind of up to speed on that before our next Public Works Committee meeting, because we need to make a decision on which direction we want to go and then actually get some more bids since it's a city project. So that's kind of where we're at. Any questions?
I did stop and talk to Aaron today and talk to him about, because he has not been forthcoming yet as far as a bid as far as painting. And his thought about painting is that there's so much bad stuff on the building that you'll have a hard time, because you're gonna have to pull off a lot of the boards that are there in order to paint it and replace a lot of them. And then you'll have a lot of paint left, and trying to get a good job painting it that's gonna last. I don't know when the fire hall was painted. He thought it was like 6-7 years ago maybe.
At least.
And it was a nice job, but you start looking at that and it's really starting to chip and flake and have issues already. So it'll depend upon what it looks like as far as getting the paint job done, because you're gonna have to get the majority of that paint off before you can paint it. And the unfortunate part about the $36,000 is that was just the siding. That was not the soffits, which need all the TLC they can get right now too. It's just tough. And then Joel had talked to him about a backing that would go up on, what was it on?
A foam board that would
go up to insulate it, because the building is not insulated. So it's costing us money to heat the building, and plus we really need to get some insulation in the loft area because there's no insulation up there also. The big thing is when you look at the metal, the foam board, the soffits, and pretty soon you're up over $60,000. I don't know what you do, because when you start looking at painting, you're looking at a lot of man hours trying to do that, and in the long run, you might be defeating the purpose of trying to save money. You might just be creating more work for people. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but we do need to get a couple other bids too.
Yeah, so the three options are: one, paint it, repaint it, and kind of cover it up as best we can. Number two, put the metal siding on it. In that case, you would actually take the old siding off and put up stickers for the new siding. The third option is to actually put a foam board, OSB with like probably a 7 to 10 R value foam board on the back of it that would insulate the sides of it. We looked at the bill last year for heating, and it wasn't honestly as much as I thought it would have been. We had a real mild winter as well. It was like 21, I think, or somewhere in that $2,100 to heat it, so that wasn't terrible in terms of a heat loss. The ceiling of the fire hall is insulated. The ceiling of the public works part of that building is not insulated. Both of those need to be heated to like 50 degrees all the time. So we'll definitely blow in some insulation in the public works side. I think that's a no-brainer. As to whether it's really efficient enough to pay the cost for that foam board around the building, because that's quite a cost of material too. That's something, those are questions to talk about, think about, and that's a decision that the council and the people of our town need to kind of come up with. It's definitely a capital improvements type of stuff. It's our building and it's serving all of us, and we hope that it'll go for another many years. So your thoughts on that are helpful to us as a committee.
Because it's not going to go for many years unless we start doing something, because it is really degrading.
It's in direct sunlight, so
Yeah.
that paint's probably absolutely.
There's more bare wood than there is paint on a lot of it. It's just sad, and it's not going to get better.
I have a question. So the boards you're talking about having to replace for painting, would you also have to replace those for siding, or can you just put siding up on what's there?
I talked to Aaron about that. He believes that you're just going to get a more finished product if you actually take those boards off and get right down to the OSB behind that.
Okay.
That way it's going to come off straighter and everything, and that won't take, that's not a large amount of money. I mean, that's just, the deconstruction or whatever for that, so.
It also gets you down to where you're structurally sound too.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can really work around those windows and improve all of that. Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Demoing the outside before you do any major renovation is a good idea.
Well, because that's not insulating in any way. If you put siding, I mean, you're gonna need to maybe look at some insulation as well, just because, I mean, if at all possible, but like you said, the cost is quite a lot to do that as well.
Something you could think if you're gonna do painting is they have the grant like Scott did for the 250th anniversary, and you could approach Steve as a professional painter and maybe get a mural done. And that might cover your cost for painting at least the front side that all the town sees, and that might be kind of cool. Just an idea.
It's a fun idea.
Yeah. It's always nice to have options.
And then the grant would cover the cost possibly because it's for the 250th anniversary, which would also just be really cool for the town because a lot of people take that road to the fairgrounds.
Yes.
You get a lot of views during that time of year, which could lead to other projects in town or maybe other towns doing it as well.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Good job, Ben.
Yes.
Anyway, that will be a work in progress as we start mulling over what is going to be the best solution. And
Is there like rot, or is it just the boards are kind of broken?
Boards are kind of broken, not a lot of rot there, but there is, I'm sure there's rot. The more you take them off around the windows and things, yeah. It is like any other project, the farther you get into it, the more money you're looking at. And
Fine line between a paint project and a reno.
yeah. But yeah, the cost of a whole new building would be, maybe if we could fix what we have. What do they say? The cheapest car is the one you own. The cheapest building we have is the one we own if we take care of it. So
yes, yeah. Same with that as it is the library. We need to be making sure that we are looking and taking care of what we have so that we don't cost more money in the future. Okay. Parks and Rec Committee. We can let Emily start talking on the Plains Day stuff.
Sure. So as you guys know, Plains Day kind of was super big this year. We had 68 entries for the parade, but then everybody kind of just started going in. So we think we hit about 80 entries for the entire parade, give or take. So that was really cool. The police department was awesome. They closed off all Willis Street for us, so the kids could go back and forth safely. And that worked out really well. Everybody loved that. All we've heard is good things, and that it was just a hit. I mean, from everything we did, it just turned out to be a huge party. We're already working on next year. We already have entertainment lined up. We have people that want to come back. So next year's looking to be even better. I'm going to approach Parks and Rec to add some more footbridges for next year. So that way there's really just a multitude of entry points, not just for Plains Day, but for anybody who wants to use that greenway and throw events or just go hang out with their kids and things like that. We're going to attempt to get everything into the dental park and the greenway. That way we can just kind of have everybody together so it's not so far away from everything else. I talked to the police chief a few weeks ago, mentioned the idea of closing off Clayton Street. That way we can use that, maybe do a cornhole tournament and bring some more new things this next year. Does anybody have any suggestions for next year or anything that you think we can do better?
I think it was probably the best one since I was a kid. It was huge.
And I was up in Marion for the 4th, and that's their version of Plains Day. They had some really cool kids, like I took pictures with QR codes so that you could It would be somebody who'd pay for to like come in and do the thing, but it was like gel, these little gel beads the kids were
Oh yeah,
running
the gel
around.
blasters.
Yeah, shooting each other in this big inflatable situation, and then there was this huge bubble cannon. The most fun ever.
Can you describe what a bubble cannon is? Because
Exactly what it looks like, and it's just shooting out massive amounts of bubbles. And so they just had cordoned off part of the lawn.
Okay.
But it was in the middle. It was up to my chest.
Oh my god.
So mostly it was toddlers, but me and my brother are toddlers, so we went ahead and went for it.
That is fun though.
With all the kids that were with us, and it was so much fun. And that's all it was just bubbles puking out of this big cannon thing.
You have to send that to me.
It was super fun.
I know we're gonna do this August thing with the kids where we put a bunch of prizes in it and let them go kind of crazy. We've decided to put them in Easter eggs to make it a little easier, especially for the little ones. Things can be hard to find.
Yeah.
We're also gonna talk about opening up the old jail and putting out wanted posters.
Yes.
Oh, that would be
But there's a catch. You can buy an insurance card and a get out of jail free card, which means you're safe for the whole day. And you can't get arrested, anything. You're safe. So that's another way to do a fundraiser. That way we can, start getting better, even better entertainment than we had. Because what we had was wonderful, and we want to make it, more and just keep having fun with it. But just so you guys know, if you feel like somebody would want to put you in the jail next year, just keep it in mind that we are going to have get out of jail free cards. That way, you can.
So
That's exciting.
when I was a kid, they did wanted posters for the police officers. I still have my dad's wanted poster,
That's so cool.
and you probably remember this. You were back then. Yeah, you paid to throw someone in jail, and then if you wanted out before the time was over with, you had to pay twice as much to get out.
See, that's what we kind of do. I've been asking around everybody, and those are the two things that everybody wanted back, was opening up the old jail, and definitely the kids sawdust things and stuff like that. So we are open to any and all ideas. I mean, we're already halfway through planning next year. I mean, the committee we have is just, they're so much fun. Everybody is just so in it to win it. And we did t-shirts. They did okay. I think not everybody was aware of them quite yet. So we're really going to blast it all over for next year. But I've seen them around town, so that's pretty cool. And the kids had so much fun designing them. So,
I've got mine.
Any questions or suggestions?
I just think you guys did a super idea.
It was so much fun.
It was so exciting.
We had so much fun planning it, between cones to just putting things up, making maps, and getting everybody together. It was so much fun. It was a lot of work, but it seemed very well organized from our perspective. Other than the parade, that was a little chaotic because we planned for 40, not 80.
I tell you what, that was one of the biggest parades that I've seen in a long time.
Fantastic.
I was able, the ambulance was kind of towards the front there. I was able to get all the way around the parade route, park the ambulance back in the station, walk down and still see 10, 15 minutes of parade.
Isn't
That's
that crazy?
the other thing. I talked to Veterans on the Road and Americans Classics Garage. They're moving their car show next year, so we can get all of their classic cars and ours too.
Wow.
So it sounds like we're gonna fill the dental park and part of the greenway with classic cars, trucks, anything they have. So that's pretty cool. I'm super
I
sure.
don't know how well it went over, but the laser tag over here in Fred Young Park seemed like it was
It
a
was
great
hopping
thing.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Everybody was loving that.
And the pool park, going over there for
The Ryans.
the Ryans, what they did, they had a heck of a crowd there. I mean, there was
Yeah,
a
they're
lot of
super
people.
stoked for next year. We have some fun prizes we're gonna wait to share with everybody for next year, but it's looking like it's gonna be even bigger than it was this year. So
Great. Well, thanks, Emily.
we're super excited.
Well, let's see what, coming up on the Parks and Rec Committee, they talked about the Splash and Bash, which is coming up August 1st, so just be prepared for that. Chris Borntrager and Phil Weaver will be the auctioneers. They have their own PA system. The live auction will be at 6 p.m. The silent auction will close at 7. July 18th will be the deadline for turning in donations. The food vendors will be set up in the gravel parking area, which will be closer to the auction. Chairs and table setup will begin at 9 a.m. The new playground equipment will be there, as well as the new swings and chains. The new swings and chains are up. Look great.
And they look so pretty.
Oh, they do. Details about the logistics of the day were discussed. Then swimming pool, if all goes well, fill the pool. Lifeguard training will be June 22nd, 24th. Friday, the lifeguards will be staining the pool. So that all happened already.
Yeah.
All right. Planning board. We could probably have Joanne read that since she is on the planning board.
Yeah, I haven't even been to one meeting.
You were at that meeting though.
As soon as I find
It's probably towards the back.
these times. So there's a meeting.
Here, you want this one, Joanne? Here you go.
So that was on Wednesday, June 17th, and Bambi Wright, Jennifer, these are, wait a minute, I was there.
Yeah, you were.
That's all right there.
It's like, I remember that. Okay. Chris Ellen, Jolene, and Lyle were all there. It was called to order at 7 a.m. Discussion was around Chapter 7 in the ordinance books. Some of the questions were raised for further research. What regulations should there be for tiny homes? And what about wheels versus foundations? Because the taxes are different. Just so it's a lot of stuff we're looking at as to what kind of ordinances we should be looking at, or if we want to do any of those. Mobile homes, that we're going to be revising some of that. So there's a few things that we're looking at that the state has done, but there's an SB 252 and how it might apply to planes. And shall we have rules, skis versus wheels versus foundations? This is for all the tiny homes and that type of thing. Because of course, we're gonna be looking at getting more and more of those, I'm sure, within the town and how we wanna look at those. So it's basically just discussion going on as to what we're looking at, and if anybody has input, if the planning board is looking into that. Fee schedules, that kind of stuff, what we're gonna do. And then, the assignment, we're looking at how to find all the unlawful versus the things about assigning fines, what kind of fines you would want for people that are violating those type of things. It's a whole lot of things to look at and see what other towns do. So it's just a matter of looking at that, because a lot of that isn't covered in our planning books at all at this point, so we have to look at that. And then we just adjourned at 8:10, so it was a little over an hour for the planning board, so that's all that.
Thank you, Joanne. Police Commission, we did not have a meeting there. If you want to speak into that, Ron, anything on the Police Commission?
No, I have nothing to report.
Okay, Ron is our head of our Police Commission. Safety Committee, there is no safety meeting. And just real quick, I'll throw it out there since we'll get back to what Joel was talking about with the meters and the new metering system. Next week on Tuesday, name is Brad, he'll be here from Camstrip, the new meter company, and they will be here training our deputy clerk and our public works people to get integrated with the software and stuff for the new meters, and so we'll be getting that kicked off. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, actually. Now, this is the opportunity for any other public comment of anything that we did not cover on the agenda. If anybody has anything else to say?
How hard is it to get another crosswalk across the state highway? What's the process with that?
Good question.
You want to talk to Colin at the state? And Emily, if you want, I can give you his number.
That would be awesome.
Probably start with him. He'd tell you the process there.
By the library. We go in together. We'll make
Yeah.
it hurt.
And he lives here locally, so.
Are you talking about the one, like the Linky Light one at, by the circle there? Or?
With or without, we've got one for the library and one for where I'm at. Just because they're both high traffic, there's so many kids, there's so many people that just walk right across and they hop out behind cars. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in this room has probably almost hit somebody at some point. And I think it'd be safer just having the two that are just not on opposite ends. I think it'll be a lot more helpful and will be more preventful of, you know, I don't think there's that many accidents, but people just backing out like crazy or, you know, people speeding. It might slow them down a little bit more to your town.
We do have 2 signs that are still coming in, have not showed up yet, as far as to slow people down at each end of town. The flashing lights and you're going too
They
fast.
hauled butt past my place up there on the hill.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone was going like 65 this morning. Oh yeah, they move up there.
Yeah.
Even if it was still 35 at the bottom of the hill, I'm pretty sure there's.
Yeah, they're still stopping plenty of people up there.
And you guys can tell, you know, all the officers, you can sit in my lot. Like, I'm kind of over everybody just speeding through there because it's dangerous. There's kids, there's fawns, there's so many things that are, you know, I worry about. And when we're busy, we have people on each side of the highway. So we have elderly, we have kids, and they're just flying up that hill like crazy. So
I had one a couple days ago, was heading that way, past M's Cafe at 50, passing the line of cars in the no passing zone, so that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they think the hill signifies, but there's something.
That was a fun
Mentally,
conversation, but yeah.
mentally people are just like,
Yes. It's sad. It is sad.
yeah, it's just kind of crazy.
The visual indicator ones, I think, are really, I mean, it's just kind of, again, lets them know, like, oh, okay, like, I know down here where the little buzzer is, people see those ones flashing, they're more apt to stop, leaving, like, you know, just down the road, they'll see it slow down. So I mean.
I know the Friends of Paradise just put theirs in down there, and they said it's helped. I was gonna ask her what the process was of that.
Those are still coming. I mean, as far as the speed signs.
Oh, the ones that like flash?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know.
That's what's on order, and Rob's been
cool.
very diligent getting a hold of him and
That
said,
would
hey,
be awesome.
you said, and they're not here yet. So.
That's awesome. I didn't know we were.
So it's
getting
coming. It's
And
coming.
I know, I like going through Paradise, you know, you're going and you're not maybe paying as much attention, but it does, it's like, oh yeah, I gotta, you know, and it'll help, it does help me slow down, so I'm sure it does a lot of other people. You know, I'm not going fast, but I'm still going faster than 25 or 35.
Some kind of social experiment to be studied, but again, that 93 corridor through Arlene, because there most folks who travel that know that you gotta slow down, get ready to come up, drop, go up the hill, but then everybody all of a sudden sees that their speed flashing in front
And
of
then
them.
you catch right back up to them, because they all, you know, they'll
Oh,
pass
yeah,
you. Like,
yeah.
I do the same thing. I slow down going in because I know better, and then they'll fly by, and then all of a sudden you're just like.
Well, that's the end of the agenda, so I would be accepting of a motion for adjournment. All right. We are finito. Thanks, everybody.